Halo, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hari Wisnu. I'm from A class. I am a student of Hamzanwadi University. In this video, I would like to explain about my thesis proposal with the title Educational Strategies for Tour Guide in Communicating in Sembalun. Uh, uh, I chose this title because I am very interested in this, and apart of that, I am very curious about the learning strategies used in educating to tour guides, especially in Sembalun. And then the reason I chose this title is that many of my friends are taking part in the program, so it will make it easier me to do the research. We will go to chapter 1, and chapter 1 has four subchapters. The first is background of the study, focus of the study, purpose of the study, and significance of the study. The first is background of the study. Sembalun, a region in Lombok, Indonesia, rich in Sasak culture and heritage, has kind noticed as a growingly popular tourist destination. According to Hamish Didi 2006, English language communication is becoming more and more crucial as the tourism industry expands. In order to engage with local foreign visitors, and business travelers must be able to communicate effectively in English. It might be more difficult to converse in English in Sembalu. Nevertheless, according to Rogers and Kincaid in 1981, state that communication is a process in which two or more people from or exchange information between each other, which in turn result in deep mutual understanding. Prior studies indicate that improving one's English communication skills and knowledge can significantly boost a resident of Sembalun's economic change and potential. According to Rogers, EM, and Kinchach in 1981. As a result, a third examination of the efficiency of English instruction and training is required, particularly that provided by guides or local tour guides. We move to focus of the study. Uh, the study will concentrate on a third examination of the training given to guides or native tour guides in Sembalun. Particularly with regard to speaking English, this study will address a number of significant issues. The first one is instructional materials, the kinds of curriculum and learning research that guides are taught about English communication will be determined by research. This covers the subject's abilities and modes of communication that they were taught in school. And then the second, teaching approach. The study will examine the instructional strategies employed in the tour guide, in the guide schooling. This entails evaluating the instructional strategies, research and technique employed. And then the third is education effectiveness. The purpose of this study is to evaluate how well the education given has improved the guide ability to communicate in English. This involves evaluating the guide's degree of self-assurance and English communication abilities. Like that. And four, requirements of foreign visitor. The study aims to investigate the comprehension of the requirements and anticipation of foreign visitor uh, concerning English language communication with tour guide. It will assist in determining how well guide instructions satisfies customer demands, and the goal of this study is to give guides a comprehensive understanding of the education in the context of English communication in Sembalun. This understanding will serve as the foundation for recommendations, for modifications, and enhancement that might be required to help guide English communication skill, um, which will in turn promote tourism and the local economy. And then the third is the purpose of the study. Purpose of the study. The study attempts to accomplish a number of goals. This primary goal is to assess how successful the English communication instructor provided to Sembalun guides has been. This involves evaluating the guide's comprehension, confidence, and ability to communicate in English when interacting with foreign visitor, finding the guide, finding the guide's shortcomings and difficulties in communicating in English in the second goal is the second goal. That is the second goal. It will therefore be possible to suggest specific strategies for improvement. The third seeks to comprehend what foreign visitors want and expect from their interaction with guides in Sembalun. And then this will support the development of more market responsive and relevant curricula, having a thorough grasp or how effective current education is. This study will serve as a foundation for suggestion and tactics that can enhance instruction to guide in the context of speaking English in by helping guides communicate more effectively in English. This research also benefit the tourism and economic growth of the Sembalun region. Better international tourist experience and business opportunities will result from improved English communication skills among guides. These goals will give the study a solid basis and aid in guiding the action that will be done to enhance the training of guides in the context of speaking English in Sembalun. Um, and then significance of the study. Significance of the study. The improvement of guide education is one of the many fashion aspects of this research. Significance. The result of this study can be used to enhance Malun guides instruction and training, like that. Particularly when it comes to English communication. This will enhance their capacity to communicate with visitors from other countries, potentially improving the overall experience and content of tourists. Sembalun can draw in more foreign visitors as a result of the guides, improving English communication abilities. This will help the tourism industry expand and might create new business opportunities for the community. According to Ashley C. the Berlin Filler and World Age 2007, the result of this study may increase the income of people living in Sembalun, particularly guides. They can increase their income and open up more business opportunities with improved English communication skill. The result of this study will benefit the Sembalun community. That's only for chapter 1. And now we move to chapter 2. Uh, in chapter 2 has 4 subchapters. The first is theories, the second relevant studies, theoretical framework, and research question. The first is theories. Theories. Uh, in these theories, we have 3 theories. The first is theories of education. According to Mazid B. 2020, the Latin word educate, which means to to bring forth at the source of the English word education. Education can be broken down into a number of categories and facts, such as formal education and informal education. Formal and informal education. And then the second is educational strategies. According to Soifers, CA and Martin C. 2014, the methods and approach teacher employ to help their fulfill through the learning process are referred to as educational strategies. And then the third is communication, theories of communication. According to Simiclus 2012, communication is the practical of information by a variety of channels from one person, group, or location to others. It is essential to human connection as well as the sharing of knowledge and ideas. And then the second is relevant study. Relevant study. Relevant study of this title, this thesis proposal is the first is formal and informal education. According to Alade LA 2011, formal education is a curriculum-driven, controlled education system that grant official academic degrees or certification. And according to SH 2007, informal education, on the other hand, is structured learning that takes place outside of informal institution. And then the second is educational strategies and communication. A learner method for organizing and applying a particular set of skills to acquire curricula content or finish other activities more successfully is called a learning strategy. Called, and communication is the practical of information by a variety of channels from one person, group, location, to other. It's essential to human connection as well as the sharing of knowledge and ideas according to standards G 2009. Enhancing storytelling abilities can also be achieved by practicing frequently and being conscious of body language. And then only that from relevant study. And then theoretical framework. The first is problem factor. Small education problems are caused by a number of factors. The first is some youngster find it difficult to get to school due to distance and physical difficulties. Then second, traditional livelihoods frequently take precedence over formal schooling. And third, a lack of competent education ready to work in isolated place. And next, inadequate facilities and research for education. Next, and then high education related expense. And then the last is social cultural perspective that don't necessarily place a premium on education. And then the second is theoretical foundation. Theoretical foundation. The first is social development theory, and then the second argues importance of education for cognitive and social development. Then three, explain need for strategies to improve access to education. And for communication, a communication theory. And five, assert we adapt communication to accommodate others. And then the six explains need to tailor education communication to symbolic context. And seven, critical pedagogy. And eight, focus on empowering student and transformation of society. And then the last is provide rational for cultural relevant educational strategies. And then we move to the third, it's keyword. The first is geography, remote location limit. And then the second is about culture strategies solve a legend with cultures, norms, and practice. And then the third is researchers, lack of infrastructure and limited learning material. Then we move to sub for the research question. Uh, the research question for study on educational strategies for tour guide in communicating in Sembalun is the first is what is the current state of knowledge and the stories that are being conveyed to tourists regarding the nature, history, and culture of Sembalun. And then the second, what kind of communication training are tour guide in Sembalun currently receiving? And then the third, which visitor profiles and reason for travel Sembalun are most prevalent? And four, which folk tales, traditional and historic accounts about Sembalun would local prefer tour guides to share with tourists? And next, how do the people of the Sembalun community want outside tourists to be represented and educated about their cultural heritage? And then six, which rare species, natural landscape, and conservation initiatives should be highlighted in training to raise environmental awareness? And seven, how can guides explain to people how human livelihood and the natural ecosystem of Sembalun are intertwined? This connects culture and nature or not? And then which expert interpretation or justification of Sembalun do tour guides feel the least comfortable offering to visitors? And nine, which researchers should help prepare tour guides to answer inquiries from visitors and create captivating personal narratives? That is a research question. And then and now we'll go to the next chapter, namely chapter 3, which contains research design, setting of the study, participant of the study, data collection, and data analysis. Uh, the first is research design. This research writer use qualitative research method because it allows for an in-depth exploration of the communication strategies used by tour guide in Sembalun and the challenge they face in communicating with tourists. Qualitative research methods such as interviews, observation, and analysis of feedback forms can provide rich and detailed data on the experiences and perspectives of tour guides and tourists. The research can also explore the effectiveness of different educational strategies for improving the communication skill of tour guides in Sembalun. Existing literature on tour guides' communication skill and strategies can also be used to inform the research. The research can contribute to the development of effective educational program for tour guide in Sembalun, which could improve the quality of tourism experience for tourists and benefit the local tourism industry, like that. And then we move to the setting of the study. Setting of the study. The first is a place. In the study, recent researcher chose a site in Sembalun, East Lombok, West Nusa Tenggara, because this is a very beautiful and many activity of tourism is doing here. And then time, the present researchers took the time to conduct this research starting from October to December in 2023. Participant of the study. Next is participant of the study. The subject of this research were 14 who took an English course for the tour guide's profession in Sembalun. Yeah. And then data collection. For data collection techniques, we use observation, interview, and questionnaires. The first is observation. Observation is the process of gathering information by observing people and place at research sites, claims Agorosino and Rosenberg in 2011 as stated in the previous description. Observation is the process of making an in-person direct observation on the subject of study. This study documents the operation of the percentage procedure. Observation is a way for witnessing something or gathering data for research in order to identify problems in English. And then V, interview. Researchers utilize interviews to go or gather data regarding student comprehension, such as the degree of students' comprehension when speaking or any other topic the researcher is interested in learning more about. Interviews were conducted at this research location from November 12 to November 15, Sembalun. In order to gather information, the present researchers fulfills a series of questions or interview guides. Researchers learn about the issue that students run into during the guiding process by interviewing students. And then the third is questionnaires. Students are currently receiving questionnaires from researchers. Researchers are now conducting research in Sembalun Village. Zalurgi and Feldman 1992 states that a questionnaire is a list of questions given to other people who are willing to provide response according to the user's request. November 12 until 15 is also the time for the observation period and the interview guide. Students were given surveys by researchers. This questionnaire asks a number of questions that respondents must quickly respond to in order to learn more about the challenge student having the training guide. The last is data analysis. As I known as data analysis, Miles MB and Huberman EM 19 and 94 state that there are three major stages in data analysis: data reduction, data presentation, data conclusion drawing, or verification. The first is data collection. The practice of gathering information through observation, survey, and documentation in order to draw conclusions from the data is known as data collection. And then the second is data reduction. The amount of data gathered is declining, the reduction entirely summarizing, selecting the topic, concentrating and what matters, searching for terms and patterns, and eliminating unnecessary information. Researchers might find it simpler to organize, filter, categories, guide, and eliminate external data by using this methodology. The third is data display. In qualitative research, presenting the data comes after it has been reduced. Data can be presented succinctly, connection between categories, flow charts, and similar visual aids. According to Meyer VA in 1986, and then four is the last is drawing conclusion or verification. Uh, reducing uh, Reducing, presenting, and drawing conclusion from the research data is the last stage before verification. According to Aspers V and Court U 2019, assert that in qualitative research, the anticipated outcome is a novel finding that has made never been made previously. A discovery called the hypothesis, a normal of interactive theory, or a picture or reflection of an item that was previously indistinct or dark but becomes evident upon investigation. Okay, maybe that's all from my presentation about my thesis proposal. Uh, the last I say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.